question.
Okay.
We actually have two Olympians on with us today. We've got Joe JACOBI and Joe Malloy, two of my favorite Olympians. And Joe Foster, this is how much Joe JACOBI likes you. He asked me a week ago if he could ask you a question. So he really wanted to make sure he was in the front of the line.
He was on the list.
So
okay.
Joe JACOBI's in Spain. Joe JACOBI, you're up with the legendary Joe Foster.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much, Joe. I know there's a big list of people behind me that want to ask questions, so I'll try to be quick. First, I just want to say, Joe, that in 1992, I was not under contract with any shoe company when I was on the U.S. Olympic team. I was proud to wear the greatest USA team tracksuit in the history of the U.S. Olympic team, the Reebok tracksuit, on the top step of the podium, right outside my window here in Los Angeles. That tracksuit, the 1992 tracksuit, was amazing. I did not cover the Reebok name with a flag. I was super proud. Here's my question. I've never had the opportunity to ask anyone from Reebok, and it's pretty emotional to ask. And Scott, I'm so glad you brought up the question about athletes, because this is about an athlete. I was 16 years old in June of 1986. On June 17th, I went out to the Capitol Center in Washington, D.C., and I watched the NBA draft on a big teleprompter. I watched the Boston Celtics pick Len Bias with the second pick of the draft. On his last full day on the planet Earth, he went to Boston and he did two things. He signed a contract with the Boston Celtics, and then he went to the Reebok offices and signed a contract with Reebok. I'm just curious, Len Bias, like, I am from that generation. I know exactly where I was, what was happening at the moment we heard that Len had died. Were you in Boston on the 18th of June? Do you remember his visit to Reebok? What can you tell us or tell me about Len Bias and the relationship with Reebok, or that day that he came up to Boston to sign the contract?
Well, I only know his legend, and I was told an awful lot. No, I wasn't in Boston. I wasn't in the United States. This was all done with the Boston people. They put it together. We wanted to make a difference. We wanted to just concentrate on the USA. And I'm a Brit. You don't want a Brit running USA. You want Americans running USA. And they did a hell of a good job. Paul Fineman and his team did a tremendous job. My job was to put on people like Paul Fineman. I'd spent 11 years getting to the point of finding a distributor, and then we had to build a business. So mine was more on the business than the marketing side. But yeah, I remember so many legends that we did sign on. Sidney Marie as well. He was a great athlete that we had. But I think you'd have to talk to our marketing people. When companies get really big, there's a lot of things go on. And I'm traveling the world. I put on 30 different distributions around the world. And that was my job. My job, I've given the big job to Paul, and Paul did a tremendous job. And yeah, there are many legends. I think I have a book of all the different athletes that we signed on. So it was great at that time. The brand was going really fantastic, and and I think it is still going fantastic today. But we're on a new beginning. I would have loved to have met with all the athletes, but you can't be in all the places. You can't do these things. You have to give it to other people, and they did a great job. So sorry, I didn't. Nothing personal, but
no problem. Again, thank you for the amazing uniforms in 1992.
And
Fantastic.
You want a gold